Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Yes, today it's all about making an adventure, and I thought we'd go down the route of doing something with regard to a fungus or a mushroom world. Something a little bit different, something we haven't necessarily done very much with in the past, and hopefully you'll find this interesting and useful in some way. Uh, I'm also going to be, of course, using a pre-made map. That map is provided by one of the patrons. Um, I was fighting it, and eventually I had to renege. But yes, I mean we have something today, so we have something to work to. And Fred, I know you had already offered to do so. I am very much aware that you had offered a map up for this. We put up a poll. Feel free to take part in the poll. Grab some food, some drink. Make sure you're comfortable. We're going to get started in a second. Okay, we won't be taking very long at all to get straight into this. And I guess I need to stop fighting it when the patrons say, I will provide a map for the adventure today. Anyway, let's get going, shall we? Okay, all right. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about tabletop role-playing games and writing adventures, making your own stuff. And we're going to look at creating, writing, making a fungus village adventure. I know that sounds a little bit odd, a little bit strange, a bit weird, but I think it has a lot of promise, and I wanted to give it a go, see if we can do something with it, and generally make it an interesting experience. So I had one of my patrons provide me with a map, and that map is this map. Okay, I did not create this map. I cannot forward you to the place where the map was created. He will let you know, I'm sure. It is Derp Pickles, and Derp Pickles was kind enough to, after seeing the map that I was trying to do, he said, no, I think this is better. And he's right, it is. So we're going to go with that today for the endeavour. So before we get started, before we start running into, building out the adventure, a couple of bits of homework to do. First off, I want to give sort of a what are we doing here? And I had a couple of different ideas which I will share with you, and you'll let me know what you think is sort of the one that you like the most, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm going to throw into hashtag. We need to determine why the players are in this fungus village in the first place. And we probably need to know who's living in the fungus village. So a couple of questions. Who lives in the fungus village? Okay, so that's the first question. Why are the players here? Player characters in the village. Okay. That is our first port of call. I think that's where we need to start. Generally, it's always best to start with that. Who's here, what? Now, a couple of ideas that I want to put forward. You'll let me know if you like these ideas or not. And the first idea is pixies. We could make this very much a fae adventure. So it could be around fae. So pixies, sprites, it might be fairies. We could be dealing with... Somebody was saying Smurfs. Please don't suggest Smurfs to me. One, it's IP, and two, I'm not doing a Smurf village, okay? Somebody had said smaller people or smaller creatures, something like, I guess, a gnome or a halfling. It could be a completely different creature. What about a myconid? What about mushroom people? You could have mushroom people inhabiting this location. That might be a better way of looking at it. Try that as a journey point. I'm going to put it now. I put the map up on my Discord, so you're welcome to use that if you want to. I'll drop it into the chat so you can get access to it if you want to. Oops. Let's do that. Let's pop that in there. I'm noticing that today, for some reason, OBS is struggling. I do not know why. So if you see it's a little bit choppy, YouTube says that everything is fine, but I am not convinced, so I'm not too sure why that is. But yeah, please let me know if it becomes unbearable at your end, and I'll do the best I can to see if I can rectify it and shut down as many things as possible, which is possibly why that's the problem. So yeah, I think there's a lot of different things. We don't need to just use humanoids. We could use something completely alien for the village. It could be basically some sort of insectoid race or something like that. It could be ladybirds. I mean, I don't know. Whatever sort of suits your fancy. I also thought very carefully about, if we have a mushroom village, as we have here, it's surrounded by the forest, and there are essentially 3 locations that I've marked out. The rest are sort of just mushrooms that are either houses or just mushrooms that haven't been turned into housing yet, I guess. But it could be that this little area here has some sort of magic around it, and that magic is designed to shrink anybody down who comes into the area to tiny size, so they will fit in the mushrooms. So these mushrooms might be giant, yes, but going into this area actually shrinks you down. So even though we have trees around it, they might be very little trees, or they may be able to say they're just big trees, and the mushrooms are actually not that large. So yes, our player characters would be essentially the same size as whatever's living here. That would be an interesting way to sort of play out the adventure, playing your adventure in this village at a reduced size. So we could do something like that. You let me know if you think that's sort of something you would like to do, and we'll give it a go, So yes, those were the ideas that were percolating in my head at the time. Now I have a document, a Google document that I'll be working with today. So you can throw ideas out there, and I'll take those ideas. I'll do my best to sort of work with them and go from there, as I always do. Okay, so let's have a look and see what people have. Micro-gnomes called the snorts? No, I don't think so. Okay, PCs need a special curative for an affected NPC in another town. Rumours say only this town has someone who can provide the cure. Fair enough. Okay, we'll take this concept here. And so we have an underlying sort of hook. There could be more as we go, but that's sort of how we get our characters to the village. The characters need a special curative for an afflicted character in another town. Rumour says only this town, only this village. It's not a town, it's a village. So this village has someone who can provide the cure. Okay, so that really does say we need to have a curative location, then an apothecary or something like that. So I got that. Okay, cool. Fungus among us. So is this the name of something? Pixies, brownies sounds good. Okay, let's make it pixies. Okay, let's make it pixie. This is a pixie village. That really sort of nails things down quite nicely. And I will just make sure to include that detail and paste this in. I'm going to show you what I'm doing in the Google document in a second. I just want to grab the stuff initially and get things moving. So pixies. Right. So I have prepared a whole lot of descriptions for various locations. If you guys will struggle with that, that's all right. I will do that. Okay, where I need to. And I can cover the entire village if absolutely necessary. I would prefer not to, but if absolutely necessary. Hello, Noroak. How are you? Nice to see you. So yes, patrons here. Fred Hubert is a patron. Negative Space. How's it going, mate? We have Noroak. Also, I think you're a patron, aren't you? You were, and then you weren't. Yeah, I was a little bit confused as to what's going on, but yeah, I can't remember. I thought you had signed on and then you signed off. Patreon has been confusing me a lot. Fungus Among Us is a play on words. It certainly is a play on words. I get it. I understand the joke. Okay, so this is a village of pixies. So we've established that this is a village of pixies. And it sounds like you like the idea of the shrinking down thing. You're doing good? Awesome. Okay, so let's take building one. So Fred Huber's already started. He's already started testing. Yes, I am. Had to change payment method. Yes, good. Tell me now, Nora, did you change so you're not using the Apple app? Is it ISO Apple app? Yeah, don't want to use that payment method anymore because they're going to screw me and you. And I would suggest just making sure you go through a desktop computer or a laptop and don't use that particular app for Patreon. It's not a good idea, unfortunately. Okay, so building 2. So Fred Huber's already started, so let me just do the prompt. So give me the number of the area number, or what's the, it's not area number, it could be listed as a mushroom number. Not all of them are mushrooms. Mushroom or area number. Then give me sort of a basic description. Oh, you got a different card. Please tell me you didn't use the Apple app. Okay, next. That's mushroom. And then we want a description. If you can't figure out the description, that doesn't matter. I can deal with that if necessary. Then furniture. If we have furniture inside there might not be any furniture because, not everywhere has furniture. So furniture, any monsters, if there are supposed to be monsters in this village. NPCs, probably more likely. Any hazards. If there are hazards, there may not be any hazards. Traps. Puzzles, treasure, and let's just mark down problems as well, because the type of things you deal with in a village is going to be very different. And there we go. All right. Oh God, negative space, and Nora already designated what they want. Okay, so building 2 is the town alchemist who makes curatives. Okay. All right, so number 2. Oh, and you've already got a name for the NPC. Okay, let's take this information over for number 2. And, all right, so I can provide you with a name of that place and everything. So you've done most of the deciding what that is. So 3 is the Puff the Pixie. Puff sells tobacco. Okay. So area 3. Okay, Puff the Pixie. All right, so 3, Puff the Pixie. And we'll just drop this in here. And then they'll take negative spaces idea, building 11. A researcher who's doing research, try to grow Russian and pigs. This is a, what is this? So we've got a tobacco seller with wild magic effects, and we've got a researcher in 11. Okay. Yes. Wild magic is always very, very fun and interesting. Also can cause a lot of problems, but I don't know, I still like it. I still like it. Okay, let me go over here. Now that I've done that, and you guys are working away real hard, giving out ideas, let me go to the chat and start filling out some of this stuff. Here is my Google Doc, okay? This is the Google Doc that I've got. I started with this, rah, going down, and pixies, when medium or larger creatures enter the village, they are magically shrunk. They are magically shrunk down to tiny size by regional spells. Regional. What's the word? What's the word I want to use? Regional something magic. That'll do. Regional magic. Magic. Cast by the local pixies. Bums. Let's try that again. Pixies. Okay, that's good enough. We've got a fair idea of what we're dealing with. We don't know what the name of the village is, but I'm sure you guys will come up with an idea. And let's go through and start filling out some of these first things. So area 2, which is the first mushroom, the second mushroom, the big red one, is a main mushroom. So let's find something suitable for that. I believe I have something that will work. No, I've got one here for a spore gate. I've got one here for a forge, a tavern. Toadstool tavern's not a bad idea. Puffball apothecary. Let's call it that. Go cut and just take that out, and we'll put this smack into 2, and I'll give you an idea of what we got. Puffball apothecary. It's a big red mushroom on the map, but yeah, this massive red and white puffball mushroom has been hollowed out into a herbalist's shop. Okay, the ears thick with the scent of fresh fungi, and the shells lined with potions and remedies growing from the walls. Spores drift lazily from the ceiling. Okay, right, so that's our first thing. So we need to have it as a GM note and an NPC. So the pixie's name is Dandelion. Strongbark is the alchemist. NPC. Let's start with NPC. And our NPC is let's take that sentence, rearrange it a little bit, try again, paste. A pixie named Dandelion. Strongbark is the alchemist, and continue the sentence, who makes healing and curative products only. All are infused into candied mushrooms. Okay, so you've decided we want to go into only candied mushrooms, and I think what we'll do is we'll partly go with that idea, but not completely. The line shells with potions, candies, candied mushrooms, cut, potions, paste, candied mushrooms and remedies growing from the walls. Ba-ba! And that has got us on our way. So this is probably where they need to go to get that cure that they needed. We don't have all the information on an NPC, but we've got the beginning. Remember, when you're doing an NPC, the best way to do an NPC is to go what they are or what they look like. We know it's a pixie. You don't really have to say much more than that. Their name, but what they look like and their name is always good. Any kind of personality trait where you want to sort of work with, and then whatever motivation they have. And, you know, making healing and curative products is good enough as a motivation and what they do in the playing world, for the world and for the player characters. So there's only the personality trait required for the pixie at this present time, which is great. So we've got most of what we needed. So that's the first bit that was provided. Let's go down to Puff the Pixie sells tobacco with wild magic effects. I don't know if I've necessarily got anything to fit into that. And the researcher, I might be able to find something around that. I do. I have something for 11. I just realized I have something that we can use for 11. We're going to go with, how about Capstone Library? Let's take this entry that I've already pre-written. Okay, I have learned the hard way that when doing a live stream and writing an adventure, it is always a good idea to have some curated stuff ready to go just in case people get stuck. And it's not like I have a gazillion people in my live streams as it is, so it was always nice to sort of make sure I have something there to back it all up with. So what I need is the name of the researcher and what they are. I'm assuming they are a pixie. Maybe you have a different sort of description of what they look like. Maybe there's something. You only need one thing to determine what to differentiate that pixie from another pixie. So even if the whole village is full of pixies, which makes perfect sense, right? Pixies might be living with, I guess, mushroom folk or myconids or something like that have been shrunk down. They might be living with sprites or fairies. They might be living with. There might even be even though it's a pixie village, it might primarily be pixies, but there might be one gnome that's been shrunk down even more. You might even have, but you only need one thing to differentiate those from something else. You just have to pick something and say this is what differentiates them. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, so this is a multi-layered mushroom building with cap-shaped levels that spiral upwards to a tower. Is that what 11 kind of looks like? 11 is actually nothing like that. We could make 13 that, and that would be much more in line with something like that, because that's actually a larger mushroom rather than 11. Or you could make it a building. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings that aren't mushrooms, by the way, if you hadn't figured it out, which should be reasonably obvious, but so maybe we will do something like that. Let's just take this concept out of here. Let's go A. And I'll take that and I'll just drop it into 13. Let's just make it 13. Cut. Just to make life a little bit easier. I'm not going to change the map, just going to change everything else. Okay, so this is now 13. Bold underlined. A multi-layered mushroom building with cap-shaped levels that spiral upward to a tower. The library is filled with scrolls and tombs written on dried fungal parchment. So our GM notes are bold. Documents and books detailing the history, detail the history, lore and magic of the Mushroom Kingdom. Bum bum bum. And so what we want to do here is what I want a researcher who's an NPC. We don't know an awful lot about our NPC yet, but researcher who's been doing research to try to grow mushrooms that pigs can easily smell to keep them from finding and eating them. They can't easily smell. Ah, I see. Ah, ha, ha. Well, that is an interesting development. I wasn't expecting that one, but okay. Okay, so let's go with treasure. I always have a treasure entry, if those of you are wondering why that's happening. Fungus Among Us. What is the name of Fungus Among Us is supposed to be what? Is the Fungus Among Us the Puff the Pixie location? I don't know. It was supposed to be the name of the of Area 2. Right, so I need to go back to the chat. Let's have a look and see what you guys have come up with so I know where I'm going. We've done pretty well. Like that's half an hour and we've got roughly 2 or 3 locations started to begin to fill them out. Nice. Cool. All right, let's go back and let's have a look and see what else we have here. What are the cool... Oh my gosh, things I've started to develop now. Okay. So now that we've gone back to the chat, I can see there's a bunch of ideas. One is the house of the town's madman. Froppy is a deranged female pixie that shouts visions of the future at all she sees. Okay, so number 1 is just a small house. It's a small mushroom. And I think what we'll do is I have something I can use as a house. So that's for 1. So I'll drop that in and we'll start working with it in a second. So that's fine. I'll come back to that. And then what else have we got here that I need to work with? 6 looks like a magical portal, does it? 6. Actually, it's just an open. It's got sides to it, but it's open. It hasn't got a top to it. There's no roof to this location. I was thinking it might make a sort of like a theatre. You know how you can have theatres where there's like a central platform in the centre. The Fae, I imagine it might even be like a place where they dance. You know, it might be like a bull, a bull theatre. It might be a theatre for dancing and putting on shows in the centre. And then, of course, you just have your audience standing around the outside, or maybe you put chairs down or something like that. So, portal will arrive and leave the area via this magical gateway. So you want to make it a portal, or okay, all right. Let's have a look here. It's 6. The PCs will arrive or leave the area via this magical gate into the mini Fae land. They reduce 2 size classes as they enter the village, return to normal when they leave. Okay, all right. So I suppose we could include a portal area in here. It doesn't have to be a portal area, but yeah, we could do that if we wanted to. I'll mark that down. We haven't done anything with 6 yet. What else do we have? Building 5. It's a small mushroom. Building 5, where someone enters, this one is teleporting the characters directly to one of the other buildings in the town as if they walk through the door to that building. Why? I mean, I get it, but why? Why is going into that building going to do that? Is there a rationale behind that? Do you know what I mean? Okay, let's mark this down as an idea. This is going for 5. Where someone enters, teleports the character directly to one of the other buildings in town. Yeah, I just don't understand what the rationale behind that is. Okay, Norok, what have you got here? Snail racing. So I think we should probably include hello, Pale Rider. I think we should include a few different things. I think there's nothing wrong with having a teleportation circle in here. It might actually be that we can use something else as a place where there is the ability to do that. Like, there's still other locations we haven't filled out, so that's not a problem. One of the areas should be the guard outpost prison. When unwanted visitors come to the town, the pixies shrink them and lock them up. You want to have a prison in our village. Whew, that's rough. That's rough. Do you think that they would not be able to deal with them? Do you think that pixies would not be able to... You do realise that pixies could just transform them into snails and just use them for snail racing. I have done that myself to the player characters. And into bunny rabbits. So I think the idea is, yes, I think 6 should be the theatre. Like it's an open sort of top area. Number 2, treasures are assorted curative potions, mushrooms, and remedies. Okay, good. Nice. And you have got the rest of the information for that NPC, which is awesome too. So I'll drop that into 2, which is great. Paste. Where are we? Pasting this. I like that. Okay. Fred is doing his job very nicely. Wears a purple and yellow vest and orange boots. Do we have a personality for the NPC? I can make it up later on if need be. Okay, so... paste. Wears a purple and yellow vest and... A pixie name down it wears a purple, yellow, and yellow vest with orange boots. And then we just go with, take the name. Dandelion makes healing and curative products only. Okay, so nothing bad. Cool, got it. Okay, we want wandering monsters. Giant ants, infected and controlled by fungus. Okay, giant ants. Yep, I'll add that in. No problems. Pigs can't smell. I'm sure that was a typo. Yeah. No, I figured it out. It was just me reading it off. Giant ants is part of the wandering monsters. Do they actually come through into the village? I don't know if we should have wandering monsters of any kind whatsoever in a village, particularly if it's protected by the magic of a pixie. I don't know that it's a wandering monster location. I'll mark it down, but I wasn't tempted to just say there are no wandering monsters. Do you know what I mean? You want 8 to be the tavern? Okay, 8 can be the tavern. Pixie's plight. Okay, Pixie's plight. All right, so the owner is, Pixie's name is Archie. Okay, all right. So there's a couple of things I need to work with here. So you're dealing with 8 being a tavern, and I've got a tavern description, but I might have to sort of change it a little bit. But we'll sort that out in a second. Pixie's plight. And then you've also got here, Pixie's name is Archie. And we need to put in the theatre as well. You got random teleporting going on as well, apparently. So let's just drop that in. So probably a combination of 2 different ideas here. For the random teleporting building, maybe the purpose is to get to a hidden location. The random building is the only way to get to the hidden place. Okay. I'm still not too sure what to do with that, but I'll make a note and add that to the other note that I was given on the teleporting stuff. Okay, and then we have the theatre for snail racing. I think there's a lot of things that can go on in that place. So, I've got a bit of work to do. Let's go back to the document and start to fill in some of the details here. Because right now we don't have an awful lot that's sort of nailed down. Hat comes off. Yes, I know I need to have a haircut. Okay. So while you guys are working on that, I will work on filling in some of the other things and see if we can't get a bit more done. Okay. All right. Nice. So, descriptions, locations, and names. And if there's any names that I need to change, you'll let me know, and I'll do my best to fix them up if I can. Okay. Right. Drink of water. And we're ready to cross over. Crossing over to the threshold. I need some water as well. It's very strange. I do not know why OBS is struggling so much today. My computer isn't, it's the software. I don't understand why it is having so much trouble. Anyway. It's weird. Very, very strange. Alright, so let's have a look here. Let's start off with 6, and then I'll work my way back to the other ones that you guys have started to work with. We've got the Pixie's Plight, which is basically supposed to be a tavern. And the tavern, I'm sure I have a tavern description here already. Yeah, Toadstool Tavern. We'll get rid of Toadstool Tavern. And instead we'll go with this. Oh, bums. Try again. Go cut. go to Pixie's Plight, and then plug in this, plug in this. Okay, built inside it's not a colossal hollowed out mushroom. It is actually a building, so it has actually been built. If I'm pretty right, this area 8 is actually a let's say it's a combination of, it's got the roof of the roof has been constructed by mushroom cap into tiles, but the rest of it is wooden. That would be kind of interesting. We could do something like that. So built, let's go built around. Yes, built around a colossal, yeah, built around, yes, yep, let's go there. Yeah, built around a colossal hollowed out glowing mushroom. This tavern emits a soft warm light. So this is an odd shaped building too. It's kind of got, so 1, 2, 3, 4. It's octagon shaped, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It is. It's octagon shaped. This wooden octagon shaped building tavern building is constructed around a colossal hollowed out glowing mushroom. The tavern emits a soft, warm light. Okay, a hollowed out glowing mushroom. I don't want you to do that. We can shorten this again. It emits a soft, warm light. Bingo, first sentence. Inside, fungal tables and chairs grow directly from the floor, and the walls pulse with bioluminescent hue. Bioluminescent. Light. There you go. That's fine. Next, GM notes. Let's go this. A lively tavern inside a grand total. Okay. So we need to keep this fairly basic. There's too much information it's repeating, so what I want to do is I want to take this idea and go here, put this in there. No, actually we can put it there. Yeah, NPC. We'll go this way. Drop that in. Okay, NPC. Bold. The bartender and owner is a pixie named Archie. We need a little bit more information on Archie, but we will get there. And then in terms of treasure, I don't know what you might be getting here. Maybe you just can buy a drink. Maybe it's as simple as that you can buy drinks here. That's our treasure. Maybe you can buy food. I don't know. Depends. You'll let me know. Does that sound about right? Now, GM note here. This lively tavern offers travellers and locals a place to rest and hear tales and hear various tales. Okay, that's probably enough for that section. Okay, done that bit, and then let's go down to, we were dealing with 6 being a theatre, and I think I've got something for the theatre. Theatre. So, no, there's a temple, we've got an inn, we've got a bathhouse, Toadstool Theatre. There we go, we can use Toadstool Theatre, which means Toadstool Tavern is no longer required. Is it called Toadstool Theatre? Maybe it's called something else. This is a very different sort of description. I have to probably rewrite a completely different thing for this. It's not carved from a toadstool. That's the thing. It won't be called Toadstool Theatre. It'll be just something else, I guess. I can take some of this. Let's take some of this. Not all of it, but I'll take some of it and I'll just repurpose it. And then go cut. And it goes into 6. And I just got to figure out here how to do this. We'll call it Toadstool Theatre. Unless somebody comes up with a better name, that'll do for now. The theatre is, now what is it exactly? I think it's got 10 sides, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's an octagon as well. It's actually an octagon shape. Okay, so that's a different thing. The theatre is a open top octagon shaped wooden building with an overhanging that forms a natural roof. I don't know. No, I think it's an open top, so we'll forget about the overhanging roof. Building, natural roof. Okay, so let's get rid of that bit. And then inside the seats are mushroom caps, and the stage is, and the round stage, and the round raised stage is illuminated by glowing fungi, where performances act out tales of mushroom folk heroes. Okay, so this is more of a GM note. Illuminated by glowing fungi. So, full stop. GM note. Notes. The village uses the theatre for many different events, such as, why is that wrong? Yeah, okay, theatre, here we go. Bold underline. Okay, there's many such as performances. dancing, snail races, snail racing. What else would be here? I don't know. I'm going to come up with something. Performances, dancing, snail races, singing, plays, dancing, snail racing, singing, and I don't know, something else. Yeah, what else do we have to say about this? I don't think there's necessarily going to be anyone here right this very second. I don't know what you want to do with this exactly, but we'll just go with that for now. And I've done that. Okay, cool. I believe I've still got a couple other locations I have to fill out that you guys have sort of started with. But, yes, the house. Let's do the house, and then I'll go back to the chat. And I still got to be puffing the pixie in the tobacco cellar, magical effects. I haven't got anything for that. But we need a house for Froppy, the deranged female pixie that shouts visions of the future at all she sees. So let's find something that is a house. I believe I got something here. I'm sure I do. I have a forge, I have a temple, I have an inn, I have a bathhouse. I think the bathhouse is hilarious, but I don't really want to add a market. We have a rot den. We have a mycelian hut. We have a puff cap. Now, what is two? It is a small mushroom. So a puff cap hut, peaceful cottage with push mushrooms releasing spores everywhere. The rot heart house. No. Gloom hut. No, a mouldy hut, a spire cap, mushroom ruins. No, none of these. Cap house, white house full. As far as concerned, so no, that's not really what we want. Rotten tree, night cap shack. A dense light the way. A garden, rot keeper's sanctuary. A watchtower, cap spire, watchtower. Maybe watchtower. Maybe that's the watchtower. Could be the place where they keep prisoners. Because somebody was talking about wanting to have a place you could lock up people. A distillery for getting drunk seems like a good idea. A bakery, academy. Let's take something that is going to work. The nightcap shack. Is that really what we want? It's close enough. It'll do. Let's do this. Nightcap shack. Cut. And we'll put that into one where you want it to be. Paste. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. A dense dark green mushroom, giant mushroom. Where glowing nightcap mushrooms light the way. Okay, fine. And then we have our take this NPC. We have most of the information we need for this individual. Most of it, not all of it, but most of it. There we go. Frop is a deranged female pixie that shouts visions of the future at all she sees. Okay, and then I don't know what else we want to do with that, but probably need a bit more. Treasure. If I'm putting in a watchtower, where would you prefer me to put the watchtower? That's the question. Okay, so we've done 1, 2. We still got the tobacco cellar in the magical effects for 3. let's see if I can't find something suitable for that. It's really a tobacco cellar, so it's something else, isn't it? And what number was it? It was 3. And area 3, what is area 3? It's a big mushroom. It's quite a large mushroom. It almost feels like it's its own thing. Okay, large blue mushroom, and it needs to be about tobacco. Is there anything I can just grab and just drop in? Puff captain, the gloom, mold. Is there something I can use that has a function to it? Garden conservatory, perfect. So let's take the garden conservatory. Grow your own tobacco. This is the weed grower, isn't it? Exactly. Yep, that'll do nicely. Thank you very much. Let's put that over into 3. And we have our local grower. This is where you get your weed. You mean your magical weed from. I mean your, you know what I mean. Garden conservatory. Bold underline. Garden housed under a translucent blue mushroom cap. Mushroom cap allowing sunlight to filter in and nourish the rare fungi cultivated here. The garden features exotic, glowing, and magical mushrooms. Here we go. Tended by expert mycologists. Glowing mushrooms. Okay, so the garden features exotic, glowing mushrooms. And magical. Do I want to say magical? I don't want to say that. Glowing. Exotic, glowing, and glowing mushroom. Don't want to give away too much. We want them to find out the hard way. I mean the good way. I mean the other way. Glowing mushrooms. Okay, so forget about this tended by an expert. We take this kind of thing. This is not a description. This is information. Should be sitting here. Okay, now we're doing better. Oh, what have we done? We've created a new line which we shouldn't be doing because that's in the wrong place. There we go. Toadstool Theatre's back where it should be. We need an NPC. And Puff the Pixie. Puff the Pixie sells tobacco with wild magic effects. And tens the fungi growing the garden as the local mycologist expert. Okay, I think I got it down. Got there in the end. We probably still need a little bit more on this NPC, like what they look like and any personality stuff, but again, can do that later if need be. But we have our garden conservatory, the blue mushroom. All right, man, I need to go back to chat and see what we've got. We've still got a few things to go. We're hitting the hour mark, but how many have we done? We've done, out of the 13, we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty much half of it. Yeehaw. All right, let's crash on through and do a bit more, shall we? Let's do the next thing. If somebody decides where that watchtower should be, we can put I've got a description for a watchtower. And then, yes, you can have prisoners. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, Rex. I can see there's a lot of chat. Oh, I've been away so long. Look at all of the look at all the comments I'm going to try to keep up with. This is going to be a real interesting day. Okay, so I'm going to cut and paste real fast. Get it down, all your ideas as quickly as I can, and get back to getting this shite under control, because clearly I have thought that I had a lot more time. No, I did not. Okay, Rex, what do you got here? A giant mushroom house functioning like a teleporter pad for Star Trek. Cool. Right, so where is that going to be? Out of the various locations that we have, we need a house that is a teleporter, I guess. A building that is going to be the teleporting location. What would that be? I mean, which location are you going to make that? We could make it 4, like area, like, the mushroom 4 has not been used yet. We could use that one. We've got mushroom 5, which is also literally just a little mushroom, so we can make that a teleporter if you want. Okay. I feel like people want a giant mushroom that acts like a teleportation pad. So, has anybody marked down 4 or 5 in the chat so far? I think I can just pencil it in now. Just looking now. Fight Club. Oh my God. Fantasia Theatre. Not a chance. Not with Disney still alive. I mean the Disney company still alive. Not a chance I would do that. Okay, let's see here. I think we go with the smallest mushroom. We'll make it number 5. There you go. There's your teleporter. Somebody wanted a teleporter. We're going to put a teleporter in. Okay. And there's a bunch of notes on how to do that, isn't there? 6 looks like a magical portal. So we'll take that concept and gateway region size. Okay, so building 5. Yes, so building 5 was actually listed by somebody else already. Is kind of functioning like that. So I'll take all those notes, grab that, chuck that into 5, come back to it, and then sort it out once I catch up with all of you guys and all the little things you've been putting forward. Okay, so that's good. And then magical portal, Fae, reducing size. Oh, don't do that. Okay. Ah, shizers. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have to really cut and paste, focus a little bit more, Fred. Get it right. And then go up. 5, 5, 5. So there's a little bit of work to be done, but at least I know what you're trying to turn 5 into. For those of you who are thinking, he wasn't going to do it. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I often do. Sometimes it doesn't happen straight away, that's all. Okay, so that got that bit in. All right, next. 9. Area 9 is a big central building. The dust factory, the pixie dust factory. Oh my gosh, of course it is. It is the pixie dust factory. Should have guessed. So number 9 has been acquired for pixie dust production. Let's go here, pixie dust factory, and it is a building as such. I will just go here and just bold and underline real quickly so that I know that I have to come back to this, put some question marks beside it so I know that I finish it. You've got some notes there, so that's something. All right, that's good. All right, next, what else do I have here that I need to deal with? I just tuned in. Neat village concept. I am glad you like it. It is not my drawing. It is, the concept is mine, but it is done by Derp. Derp Pickles, who is a patron. He sent it to me, and so we're working with this today. Reminds me of Dungeon Magazine issue from the 80s. That was a one-shot adventure where PC stumbled upon a village that's actually giant mimics that resemble village houses. Don't walk inside. Well, this one is a little bit different. Okay, so Noroak, for the teleporting house, the door on the outside is rigged by different coloured mushrooms. When the mushrooms are pressed, they emit a glow. Okay, so this is... Okay, right, let's take this idea, truck this into 5. I feel like 5 is going to be rather complicated. It's going to have to be a merging of ideas, I think, people. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my mind. There's a lot going on there, but see. All right, next. Otherwise, it's random. Aren't there some pigs used for finding certain types of mushrooms? Yes, there are. Yeah, there absolutely is. 6. Now 6 is already marked down as a theatre, so what have you got here for the theatre? Maybe they could have celebrations in here, solace, or at a turn to the season, snail racing for the winter, white rabbit shows. Oh, okay, like as in having a dog show. Rabbit shows. Okay, rabbit shows and celebrations, solace. No, I think negative space. You're onto something here. Let's take that idea that you have for 6, and let's build that in a little bit more, because I think that's a good idea. Let's definitely do something like that. So I just got to build in a few more, add a few more things to the list. Paste celebrations, solace, and then we've got snail racing, and white rabbit shows. And white rabbit shows. Okay, full stop. Right, so we've got plenty of going on in the theatre. Right, I've got it all locked down. Next. Shows where they have to run through tunnels and pop up on ramps. Yeah, I get the idea. I totally get it, negative space. I understand. Yeah, it's like a dog show, but it's a rabbit show. It's a rabbit show. It doesn't have to be a white. Does it have to be a white rabbit? Let's just make it a rabbit show. And rabbit shows. And rabbit shows. Perfect. Okay. Next. 9 is the pixie sorcerer. Is it? What's 9? Oh, this is back to the pixie sorcerer. Oh, we've got a name now. Okay, cool. And some information. Let me just drop that in now. God almighty, how far am I behind? I'm so far behind, you guys. Talk about not keeping up. I did not expect today to have... You know, last week there was hardly anybody who was providing suggestions and options and ideas, and me and Fred were doing most of the work, and today there's just so much feedback. It's great, but oh my, I was not expecting. Okay, next. Yes, solace is a good idea. Spring could be flower contests. Let's add in flower contests for who has the best looking flowers. Floral, is it floral contests or flower contests? It's probably floral. Fall could be vegetable growing. Okay, right, vegetable growing. Yeah, okay. So let's expand it out. I'm all for that. There's a lot going on here. There's a huge number. Okay, florist shows competitions. Vegetable, vegetable something. Contests and rabbit shows. Okay, all right, cool. I've added a bunch more stuff to the theatre. You guys like the theatre a lot. Next, negative spaces idea down. Rex. Is there a leprechaun in the area? No, but there could be if you decide to create one. You name that leprechaun, stick it somewhere, and she's done. He or she is lost. Okay. If you want to stick a leprechaun in the village, I don't mind. You just got to decide where it's going to be. Among Us. Sporing across the universe. Okay. Sorry, people. The fungus among us. Alright, so let's just mark this down. So we might have a leprechaun at some point. I've got it. The hidden location could be a pixie fight club. Oh, the only way to reach it is the random house. Okay. Pixie fight club. Really? Pixies get into fights. Are we literally having a fight club in here? I don't know what to do with that. Anyway, I've marked it down as a note. I don't know how to incorporate it, but it's funny. Yes, 5. They have a building up to the random house because it's a pixie town. 5. Yeah, I don't think we need to have it be random. I think everybody probably knows about Fight Club. You know, you don't have to worry about talking about Fight Club in Pixie Town because everybody knows about Fight Club. Everybody knows about Fight Club. From the American gods, like a good brawl. Fight Club. All right, so you're gonna have to highlight to me how this is gonna work. I don't know what we're going with this. This is getting odd. The more and more I look at this, I feel like we've started to head down the dark side of the adventure building process. We're now talking about Fight Club and a pixie village made of mushrooms. Dear. What else we got? We are going out for punch later. Yeah, very funny. Roll a d6 for which building they go into. Roll. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna have the buildings switching around. It's gonna be just too nuts. If you want to have a fight club in here, that's cool. If you want to have a building that is a teleportation route, all cool. But I don't want to have a teleporting building in a village. It's going to be too hard to deal with. Okay. Fermented mushroom ale for the tavern. Okay, there we go. So our tavern has now got a fermented mushroom ale. So where's my tavern? So we haven't done 10, 11, or 12 yet. And we haven't done 7. And we haven't done 4. But we've pretty much got most of the other stuff locked down. So that's nice. Where are we? Theatre. Oh, Pixie's Plight is the tavern, isn't it? I forgot about that. Paste, which is number 8. Okay. Fermented mushroom ale from the tavern. From the tavern is, let's make it free. Free grog is going to cause so much trouble. Anyway, let's keep going. Tastes terrible. Why do we want to make it taste terrible? That's why it's free. Here we go. Fermented mushroom ale from the tavern is free, but tastes terrible. Okay, all right. Whoa. Talk about making life difficult, eh? Mushroom soup. Okay, we're going to include some mushroom soup. So GM notes, I think we'll put that under. GM notes. The tavern serves mushroom soup, of course. Mushroom soup and something else, I suppose. There's got to be some stuff that you can it's worth buying, right? Tavern Treasures is the never-ending tankard. Oh my gosh. If one beats Archie in a drinking contest, they can win the tankard. If one of them steals a tankard, they are cursed with eternal sobriety. Okay, all right, that's fine. We can do that. I'll include it, Noroak. No problems. Fungal bathhouse reminds me of old fantasy movie Fantasia. Well, you can have, if you guys want a fungal bathhouse, I'll stick one in. You just got to pick one that hasn't been used already. Do you know what I mean? So area 4, area 7, area 10, 11, and 12. It's not been used yet, so you can have it if you want it. You just got to let me know, and I'll make it happen. It's all good. All right, so the tavern has got a few things going on here. Paste. Let's take that. Yeah, I'm going to have to write that up later. I need to just keep going because you guys are well and truly ahead of me. Fungal bathhouse. Let me think in terms of area 4, fungal bathhouse. No. What else is there that we can have that hasn't been used? That could be a fungal bathhouse. 7 is fairly large location. Fungal bathhouse could be that one. It could be, what is it? 13 has already been taken. We've got 10, 11, and 12. 10, where's 10? I've lost it. 10, 11, and 12. Fungal bathhouse, there you go. Fungal bathhouse is 10. All right, we're happy? All right, I'll take that. I'll shove that in there. No problems. Where is this thing? I know I've got it here somewhere. Here we go, fungal bathhouse. Cut. Hopefully I haven't transposed somebody else's or taken the location that was already been used in the chat. But fungal bathhouse is down. Okay. All right. Cool. Nope. Let's try it again. Bold underline. A large shallow mushroom cap collecting rainwater, forming natural pools for the villagers to bathe in. The bathhouse has a floating what's the word? Floating red and white mushroom cap that can be it can be removed. Can removed. Installed. Something like this. Okay, all right. I think I got the basic gist of this. And then the caps are heated from below by spore fires, giving the water a gentle warmth. Fungi lines the edges, releasing spores that provide rejuvenating properties. Okay, so there we go. There's your bathhouse. All right, I've got to keep going through this and try and keep up with you guys because there's so much stuff. How much time have I got left? Okay, all right, we're doing all right, I guess. Right, next, did we decide on where the players show up after they get miniaturized? No, we didn't. I think they should have a party waiting for when they show up, and they act like it's a party and give each character a mushroom that hat to wear around the house. Kind of like how when people get to Hawaii in the TV shows, and then, well, I suppose we could do that, but here's the thing. I think you could probably enter from any part. I was thinking that pathway that sort of goes into nowhere between 3 and 6 could be the entry point between, the mushroom 3 and the theatre would be the entry point. But you could probably enter from anywhere, which would be fun, I think. But I think that would have some value to it. You have completed your share. No problems, Fred Huber. I totally get it. I think there's more than a lot of people who are sharing today, so we'll be fine. So I need to figure out how to do this. Okay, so this is... see if I can grab this idea. It's not going to be easy to cut and paste it, unfortunately, but we'll do my best. Hashtag, and paste, and next. Alright, so what else have we got? It's got to be something else. Dude, the plot for the village starts with the PCs getting miniaturized. Awesome. Yeah, no, they get miniaturized when they enter the village. It's literally that's otherwise they're going to want it crushing everything. It's not a giant mushroom location that we've decided. We could have 6B where the players show up and have them show on the middle. Yes, I suppose you could. Look, I don't want to narrow it down to anything. I want you to just do whatever the heck you want with it. Overboard. Hello, Overboard. Overboard is a moderator. Thanks for being here. Red Wall. Do we need to know more about Red Wall? The mushroom hat could be from a tourist shop. Do you want to have a tourist shop? Mouse jousting. Okay, we've got to add mouse jousting in there. Yeah, definitely mouse jousting into the theatre. I think we're spending way too much time on the theatre. We still have to do area 12, 11, and 7. Okay, and I know what 5 is, and area 4. I know what 5 is. It's basically your teleportation house or mushroom or whatever the heck it is. So that's all cool. No problems. But yeah, we don't want to spend too much time on the theatre if we can help it. Everybody seems to be very keen on focusing on that one location, and that is it. Mushroom jousting. Mouse jousting, not mushroom jousting. How do you do mushroom jousting? Quote, I like the idea that they're pretty much forced to wear mushroom hats. I don't think we're going to force them to do anything. Is there a pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern anywhere? No, but I don't think this is necessarily Halloween. I know you guys want to do Halloween. For those of you in North America, I'll tell you what. We'll deal with Halloween either next week or the week after. It's not quite Halloween yet, is it? Yeah. Frop sounds like Cassandra from mythology. It could be. Bakery. Okay, so we're having a bakery. Owner. Okay, so we have a bakery, and we're just going to decide where the bakery is going to be. So our bakery could be 4. It doesn't have to be a building as such. So 4 could be a bakery, or it could be a bigger location. Magic cookware. Well, if you're going to sell pastries and things, maybe we need to give the bakery a larger location. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, okay, so we just got to decide on which one is the bakery. Let's make it the... What about building 11? Bakery could be that one. It could be that one. Or it could be 12. Could be 7. Could be 7. Could be there. Could be 12. Could be 11. I've got to make a decision. Since you guys haven't decided where it's going to be, I'm going to shove it into 12. Let's shove it into 12. Okay, so I know this is bakery. I will take... I think I've got some information on a bakery, because we had one before. I don't know why I did it anyway. Bakery, something around that. And then somebody said watchtower. I don't know that do we need to have a watchtower? Shroom Brew Distillery. Fungus Fire Bakery. Okay, so we'll go cut. And we'll put this into 12. If I can find 12 again. Okay, there it is. And then paste. And then somehow I've managed to balls things up a little bit, but we'll fix it. Okay. All right, there we go. Hold. I need to do a bit more with this, but yep, we'll come back to that. What else have we got here, people? I like cows, but I wonder if cows are a nuisance in a tiny village. Probably would be. They're smart, social, and sometimes maintain friendships across species, but cows like to steal shiny things. Where are we getting this? Are we? Oh, crows. Crows. they would be tiny crows. I don't know. Do you want to put crows into the town? Honestly, not too sure what we're dealing with here. Let's go here. That's that. Crows. I'm not too sure what else to do with it. Keep the crows as mounts. Crows would be mounts. So we want to the crow stables. Do we want to stick crows into 7 or 11? Is there a stable for crows? I think that's where we're heading. The crow cavalry. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 7 or 11. 7 or 11. Something like that. I think we've got that as a point of interest, isn't it? So let's go with one that would be big enough to deal with crows. Let's make it 11. Crow stables. 11 is crow stables. And there. So I just need to undo this. Bold underline. Get rid of that. And then paste. So I've got to create that from scratch. That's not what I was hoping for. Let's try that again. So, okay, all right. Well, we're locking things down. They keep the crows as mounts, keep them high on pixie dust to keep them compliant. Okay, so let's take your little idea there. This seems like a very strange thing. Is pixie dust not just to make you fly? I thought it was just pixie dust is about making you fly. Is it used as a drug as well? Getting intoxicated as much as other species. Crow cavalry jousting. My gosh. What am I supposed to do with that? I don't think you can stick that in a theatre and make that work. It's probably going to be a little bit tricky. Okay, so it'll have to be a note that it takes place probably in the skies above the village, right? It'll have to be a GM note. Come back to you. Oh, so I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'm going to get to the bottom of the chat. Do you just what? I'm doing my best. Maybe the town guard ride crows. Maybe they do. They could be. I don't have a problem with that. We have still got to deal with a couple of places on the map. We need to deal with 7, building 7, and 4. 7 and 4. So 4 is a mushroom and 7 is a building. And we've got to decide what we want to do with those. So do we want a watchtower? Is one of these buildings a watchtower? Or we're not going to worry about a watchtower? Is that unnecessary? Puff the Pixie wears clouds of smoke. He conjures with his pipe and he has a knee-long beard. Okay, so Puff the Pixie. I've got some information on Puff the Pixie. Where is Puff the Pixie? It's the garden conservatory. So I just need to make sure I put the notes into there. Come back to it. Right. Okay. So it's coming together, and we've still got half an hour at least. If 5 is also teleports, then okay. If number 5 also teleports them in, then when they try to leave, it instantly teleports them to a random building or the fight club. Oh, I suppose it could be. Look, we could do anything we like with that thing. You could just set it. There must be a dial system or, I don't know, a fungus button, something like that. White rabbits, because I could be during winter. I just put down rabbits. Let's let them figure that out themselves. Disappointing customers. Okay. An acorn hat. Yeah, you've got that NPC. It's kind of locked down quite nicely, Noroak. Yeah. With clouds of smoke, he conjures with his pipe, and he has a knee-long beard and wears an acorn hat. We pretty much know exactly what their character is. Wizards and Warp Drives. Also a patron. Thanks for being here, Nacho. He's in disguise today. Smurf Town. No Smurfs. No Smurfs. Had a name change, did we? No, he's got two identities. He's just incognito today. That's all. We were talking about Star Wars on the Wizards and Warp Drives channel, by the way, for those of you who might be interested in us. Myself, AJ Pickett, and Nacho waffling on about Star Wars and reminiscing, going down memory lane. Anyway, next, Overboard. Joe, what have you got here? You've got the Pixie Fight invisibility. So nobody has ever actually seen Pixie Fights. The crowds tell stories of what they've heard in... I guess this... I feel like there's something going on here that is weird. I feel like number 7, building 7 feels like there's something not quite right about that place. Is that where Pixie Fight Club is? It could be. It could be. Maybe that's the one. That's the location. You guys are really on this Fight Club bender right now, aren't you? I didn't realize there was going to be such a thing. Fight Club for Pixies. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay, let's go down here. I think I'm gonna probably nail down 7 in a second. There's a legendary sentient shrub named Meep that aids the guards in protecting the town. A shrubbery called Meep. Okay. I don't know where to put you, but Meep is going to have to go somewhere. Right. I'm going to have to go back to the document and keep filling in bits and pieces. Let's see. I'm doing my best to get your ideas down, people. Whether I can incorporate them, no one even knows who punched who. They talk about how awesome a fight was, even though they don't know what happened. How come we've gone down this strange channel? Like literally, 4 is a watchtower. It is a large shrinking mushroom that sounds when danger is. Oh, shrieking mushroom. Okay, I could live with that. I know that when Peter Pan played out, kids were jumping off furniture and getting hurt, so they added the kids as also needing pixie dust so they could fly when they got home. Okay, so yes. Well, you have at least narrowed down that the watchtower could be 4. I'm going to make it 7. I'm going to make the watchtower a lot larger, unless there is something that we feel needs to be there. Because I think Fight Club occurs at the watchtower, doesn't it? Oh my, you guys have come up with all these. Remember, this is a location-based adventure. It is not an event-based adventure. You've got all sorts of stuff that you're layering on. I don't know how to deal with all of that. Anyway, let's take the... you want it to be a mushroom. Does it really need to be a mushroom, though? That's the question. That's the question. I feel like 7 is going to wind up being something else. Let's see. Coming down here. So things that we could include. We could include a forge or a blacksmith of some kind. We could have a temple. We could have... No, we don't need to have any of those things. I don't care about that. We don't need that either. That's not really that interesting. The watchtower, cap spire, watchtower. It still could be... I mean, I guess it still could be that. A distillery, an academy. I like the idea of just adding in a shroomberry distillery. So they get... so let's make number 4 what you wanted it to be. So I'll cut it. I have a description for it. So we'll nail down the locations, otherwise it's going to take us too long. And we're heading towards the end of the chat, which is great as far as I'm concerned, because that means I feel like I've actually caught up to you guys. Let's go here, the Capshire Watchtower. And then we need to add in some of the notes that you have provided. And I'll figure out how to make that all work somehow. And something like that. What else do we have here? Can we get a hospital maybe? If you want a hospital, that's fine. I don't have a problem, but do you need to have a hospital if you have your apothecary? You know what I mean? The players don't return to their original size when they leave the town unless they are wearing the mushroom hats. I'm not going there with that one negative space. Leaving that alone. Does Puff have a useless cousin named Poof? That does nothing. You're asking questions I don't know the answers to. Town was peaceful until a hag arrived with her clothes constantly irritating the townsfolk. They have grown angry and started a fight club. Good old hag corruption. Oh my. Okay. All right. So, well, I'm going to take this idea here. I don't know that I want to include a hag in here. I do like the idea of including a troublesome leprechaun. Somebody had mentioned something about a leprechaun. I think it was Rex. Sticking a leprechaun in here that causes a whole bunch of trouble would be entertaining. My general feeling is that the hag idea is, I've marked it down as a possibility. I don't know how to deal with that right now. But break, sprinkle, sell cookies from the bakery. Break, wrinkle, burst, sell. I don't know what that means. I've got no idea. Negative space. I've got no idea what your reference is in terms of the bakery. I know we've got a bakery, but that's about it. Okay, let's go here. Paste. Okay. So what have we got left to deal with? If the pixies need to forge something, they can turn each other into red dragons and heat the metal. Okay, so let's have a look at what we have here so far. We have a library. We have a bakery. We have a stables for crows. So the library is the Capstone Library in 13. 12 is the Fungus Flame Bakery, or Fungi Flame Bakery in 12. 11 is the Crow Stables. 10 is a bathhouse, a fungal bathhouse. 9 is the Pixie Dust Factory, of course. 8 is the Pixie's Plight, which is a tavern. 7 has not been named, but I think we've got an idea of what to do with it. 6 is the Toadstool Theatre, which seems to be very popular. We've got a lot of things going on there. 9 hasn't actually been named, but it's basically a mushroom house used to teleport and something like that. 4 is the Capspire Watchtower, so we've got that. Next, 3 is the Garden Conservatory for selling basically mushroom and tobacco. And then number 2 is the Puffball Apothecary. So we've got somebody who deals with healing. And then number 1 is the Nightcap Shack, which is basically where a mad pixie is, who's deranged, that hangs out there. So we've got one more location we can add. And my general feeling is that we just want to pick something that feels like it's going to be enough. We don't need to necessarily have a forge. They don't really deal with a lot of metal in this place, so I don't know that having a forge is necessary. We could have a temple. I don't think the inn is really necessary because, again, do we really have to have an inn? Nah. The tavern could probably act as an inn if we really wanted to. I don't want to include a market because it's a village, not a town or a city. Next, what else have we got here? I don't want to have a rotten tree. The Rot Keeper's Sanctuary, no. The distillery is too tempting. I feel like the distillery is the one that I want to shove in here. They make booze. These are boozers. The academy is a nice idea, but I want a booze location. So you're going to have to put up with me putting in a booze location, okay? Number 7 is for booze. So, yeah. Executive decision on my part. We're putting the Shroom Brew Distillery. The Shroom Brew Distillery is number 7. This is where you get pissed and make elixirs and ales and so forth. That'll be highly entertaining. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to unleash you guys. We've got most of the locations sorted out, and I think you got to go lighting the candle. No problem, Snoroak. I'll see you later. Let's get some adventure hooks. Magical booze of enlarging, reducing randomly. Could be. Lots of different things going on there. But I'm just thinking just booze just to get drunk. Anyway, here we're going to do a adventure hook. What is the adventure hook? What is the adventure hook? There could be a lot. Like you could list a lot. Why are the players' characters in the fungus village? Do we have a name for the village? That is my question to you. And I will start working on these locations and filling things out so you can see what's going on. Yeah, there'll be no map because I'll be looking at the Google Doc with you. And we'll burn our way through this little sucker. Here we go. Dun dun dun. He says, hoping that he's got it under control. I have no idea why OBS is struggling today. It's not like this is a weak computer. This thing is a monster. Okay. So, the Shroom Brew Distillery. A large stout mushroom. It is not a large stout mushroom. A large... Now, it's actually, I think, an octagon again, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's an octagon. It's an octagon, yeah. And we had something like that before. I just got to figure out how to make that work. 12. There's a few things that need to be adjusted here. So, a large octagon building made from mushroom stalks. Made from, let's say milled mushroom stalks. Okay. Large, shaped building made from milled mushroom stalks. The ear is full of sweet smelling fermented drinks. Smelling fermented alcohol. Here we go. Here's our alcohol. Give me a name for that leprechaun, and we can make our leprechaun now distiller. Okay, so that's that bit. Large, hollow mushroom stalks are used as storage tanks, of course. Storage tanks. Okay, so GM notes. So here we go. All the alcohol is spore-based brews and fermented drinks. So let's do this. Yes, the air is full of sweet-smelling fermented alcohol. Large, hollow mushroom stalks are used as storage tanks. All the alcohol is spore-based brews and fermented drinks. That are crafted by a leprechaun. It's not right, leprechaun. Something like that. Don't think that's right. Leprechaun. It doesn't look right. Anyway, those natural juices are collected and distilled into powerful elixirs and ales, creating some of the village's most potent beverages. Absolutely. I am all for this. Let's go here. Treasure. Leprechaun is not spelt right. There we go. We need to have an NPC information, obviously, at some point, since it's always the leprechauns that bring the best alcohol. Anyway, bold. There we go. It's there. Okay, there's our shroom brew distillery. Toadstool Theatre, got that sort of locked down. 5, I haven't sort of got a description for it, but I'll figure it out. I put in 4, didn't I? And then the Botanical Gardens, large translucent, I think I did that. Mostly did that. Okay, so where else am I? I'm lost. I need to fill in something here. There's a lot of information here, a lot of different ideas. This is why it's just a mess of ideas right now. We need to have a sort of a description of what that looks like. What would it be? My general feeling is we could do a spore gate. No. 5, if I remember right, 5 is a mushroom. It's actually not a big location. But we could have it could be a dual purpose. It could be a temple. We could make it a forge and a teleporting location. The temple idea is not a bad idea. My general feeling is the idea of the temple being the teleporting location, it would not be a stupid idea at all, because we would have hit more than one thing all at once by doing that. So that could be quite fun. The sanctuary, no. The academy, putting in an academy that's that small doesn't make sense. A temple, though, can be small. It doesn't have to be large. The Lumen Shrine Temple. Okay, let's do this. And this is where we have our teleporting location as well. So cut that. Put it into 5. And we're pretty close to where we needed to be. Shrine, temple, bold, underline, sacred structure formed from the intertwining caps of multiple bioluminescent mushrooms. The temple glows in a shifting hue of blue. And is it really blue and green? I feel like it's not. It's probably green and yellow. Of green, yellow and green, yellow and green, yellow and green, and the central altar is a raised mushroom cap used for rituals. Is a raised cap. Mushroom cap. Okay, so that's fine. GM notes. Let's take that, go here. I need to do a whole bunch of work around that. I'm just a little bit behind on stuff, if you hadn't figured it out. There are a lot of ideas thrown at me. And I probably have to look at chat too to see what you guys have cooked up in terms of and hooks, adventure hooks, because I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of ideas coming my way. Treasure. Come and fill that in later. A lot of GM notes probably to deal with there as well. Okay, what else do I got to do? Yes. Done that. Keep going. Down. Tidy that later. Here we go. We need to have a treasure. Is going to be pixie dust. Of course. Pixie dust in bags that make anyone who sprinkles it on themselves fly. Something like that. You get to fly. It's pixie dust. Flying time. That's going to cause some real problems, I'm sure. Next, jousting. We've got GM notes. I haven't really done a lot of the notes around the stables, the crow stables, but we'll have a treasure as well. I don't know what that'll be. I'll come back to it, I guess. Bold. Oh, there's a lot of work here. Thought there'd be a lot less. Anyway, we've got an NPC we've got to deal with. And this is treasure. Put that entry in. Deal with that here. Bold, underline. NPC. It's an NPC, so we put NPC entry. Come back to you. Bold. Alright, so now let's go and have a look and see what we have for all these adventure hooks that we needed. Since there are going to be multiple ways to deal. Oh my god! I've been away too long. Again. Should have guessed. Okay, let's have a look. Let's take it out. Take the time to get them all down and see if I can squeeze them all in. Dinner time for me. I have a good night. No problems. Negative spaces are probably already gone. They need 1 pound of pixie dust to interrupt a necromancer's attempt to become a lich. Well, that's a very strange adventure quest, but let's put it down. I'm trying to figure out, what does pixie dust do? Have you guys got some ideas? Is there I thought it was just to make you fly, but do you have some other ideas you want to cook up? Things that is pixie dust multiple? Is it a multiple purpose sort of thing? And then they are escorting the corpse of a child of one of the villagers. Corpse of the child of one of the villagers. Okay, all right. That's an odd adventure hook, but I'll mark it down. I'm not too sure what to do with that right now. Where are you going with this, Fred? And okay, what else we got here? Muhammad Al Leland. Okay, Mike the... Oh, the Fight Club names. Okay, all right, Fight Club. Yeah. Fight Club takes place in 4, doesn't it? Because we decided that they watched how it would be the Fight Club location. So this is like a GM note that I have included. And if I can just copy and paste that in, paste it. Okay. So you've got some NPC names figured out, which is great. Okay, what else do we got here? Adventure hook idea. Perhaps the leprechaun misleads the PC party when they demand his goal, leaving them in the pixie village. Aha, okay, all right. We'll figure out how to structure that a bit more. So, literally just drops them, teleports them into there, drops them in the village, or leads them there. Misleads the PCs. Yeah, that would be fine. We could do that. Eventual idea. Draw it or either in the PC party. Absolutely should be the PC party. Over here's a murder of crows. Chatter about the pixie crow cavalry in need of help of something. Okay, all right. Let's drop that idea in there. There's a lot going on today. It's been very productive. I have to say, I have really struggled to keep up with everything that's been going on here. A side quest, NPCs, an NPC herbalist, trying to find some hard to find herbs. Yep, and they have to be found in the village. Yes, yep. Man, you guys have got plenty of ideas here. Not an issue at all. I'm just going to jot down things to trade for whatever the PCs need. They have to go through a long, complex series of trading things with almost everyone in the village. Oh my god, that could be very complicated. I don't know how to build that into an adventure that's supposed to be fairly simple, because usually when I do these things, the idea is to make them simple and easy to understand and run, so that I don't get derailed too easily. Okay. A local satyr hires the NPCs. A local NPC satyr hires the NPC to help him track down. Oh, they're the characters, right? Track down the location of Pixie Village to party, enjoy festival. Okay, so this is... I can see what you're doing with this one. I understand now. That makes sense. Let's party. All right, and oh man, there's so many ideas here. Let's keep going. Next, of course, the satyr would say, I really want to eat the pixies. Satyrs don't eat pixies if they wind up turned to tiny size. It's going to be a bit difficult. Good luck. Adventure idea. The PCs kill a shambling mound in a random forest encounter, and the pixies arrest them for murdering their friend. Really? Okay, all right. Rex is on fire. Literally on fire. And a trial ensues. Okay. Fight Club, right? Then we go back to Fight Club. 12. Cubs are too fat to fly even with pixie dust. Like chubs. 12 chubs. I don't know what we're talking about. You mean crows are too fat to fly even with pixie dust? Is that what we're saying? I don't know. Fred, I'm lost. Here, spellcaster familiar. Jeez, okay. I think we're near the end of this. I think we're near the end of this. Okay, paste. All right, let's keep going. Spellcaster familiar has been abducted by pixies to serve as a mouse jousting mount or cavalry. Okay. Sure. Yep. So it could be either one. Queen of the Fairies has heard about the supposed Fight Club. She has asked for any visual evidence of such acts. A great reward will be given to anyone who can prove this absurdity. Right, yes, because Fight Club is not a done thing. Yeah. Oh, chubs. Oh, from 12. Jesus, 12 got chubs in it. I don't even remember. Chubbs, absurdity. Okay, so there's be careful about the pixie dust. Crushed pixie wings make pixie dust, so also called dust of disappearance. Pixie dust is not crushed pixie wings. It's naturally frowned upon by pixies. Yes, well, it would be if you're crushing their wings. I'm not putting that in Rex. PCs want to compete in PCs want to play in Fight Club for the annual Thumb Wrestling Championship. Really? You paid attention. Look, I have been looking at. I've had to manage all this stuff. Like, there's been a lot to deal with today. I've been trying real hard. Okay. Shizes. Okay, here we go. Chubbs. Chubbs is in 12. I don't know what is in 12. I just don't remember it all. There's so much information here. Oh, Chubbs is the owner of the pastry place. And I didn't really get a chance to sort of tidy that up. But anyway, there's an enormous amount of work, and we're over time. So let's show you what we've got. Okay, let's show you what we've got so that you know, and then give you a basic idea of 2 hours. The community, 2 hours it took us to do this, roughly. And there's a lot of ideas. So, the Fungus Village, which we don't even have a name for the Fungus Village. But anyway, moving down. We have many different adventure hooks that are tied to different aspects of the village. There is literally 12 of these things. Okay, 12. I'm sure you can manage. I don't think we need to have wandering monsters in a village, so I'm going to eliminate this section. I'm going to just say there are no wandering monsters in the village. Okay? If you rest in the village, you're all good. No problems. So don't worry about that section. This is a village of pixies primarily. Medium-sized and large creatures entering the village are magically shrunk down to tiny size. So that's part of our village features. And I'll do a little bit more information around this later on. Locations. One is the Nightcap Shack with our deranged pixie, Froppy, in a sort of a mushroom of her own. We have the Puffball Apothecary, run by Dandelion Strongbark, where you can get your potions, your candied mushrooms, your remedies, and so forth are here. Then you have the number 3 is the Garden Conservatory, of course, because who does not like to smoke mushrooms? And so yes, you get your cells, mesh of wild magic cells, mushrooms, not tobacco, with wild magic effects and tending to the fungi growing in the garden. It's a local mycologist expert. Okay, so we've got that. We've got our fungus growth for smoking. Next we have the Capspire Watchtower, which is used to sort of send out an alarm, warn the village, but also has been conducting Fight Club. Naughty. You shouldn't be doing that. That's bad. Bad. Anyway, next we have, that's Area 4, and in Area 5 is the Lumen Shroom Temple. This is where we have a teleportation circle or something going on here. You can worship some mushroom deities or whatever. A lot of information to chew through here. I'll figure out how to do it later. The Toadstool Theatre, which is like an open-topped, octagon-shaped wooden building with mushroom seats and a round raised stage illuminated by fungi. And we have everything from a lot of stuff. Performances, plays, dancing, snail racing, singing, celebrations, solace. Did I have snail racing more than once? I did. Apparently snail racing is twice as important as everything else. Florist competitions, vegetable contests, mouse jousting, and rabbit shows. Okay, we have Area 7 is a homebrew distillery. a large octagon-shaped building made from the stalks of mushrooms for fermenting alcohol. And yeah, a leprechaun is running this. We don't have a name for him, but that's all right. Leprechauns are always into getting smashed. So anyway, maybe he has an alcohol problem. Next, Pixie's Plight. Pixie's Plight is basically a tavern, and this is going to have a bartender called Archie, apparently. I don't know why it's Archie. We have a tankard, a never-ending tankard, and some free beer. Doesn't taste very nice, but that's all right. You find out the hard way. We have number 9 is the Pixie Dust Factory, basically where they grind up special mushrooms and dry it out to make magical dust for the town sorcerer, apparently. Rosebud Beetroot. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Number 10 is the Fungal Bathroom. Or bathhouse. It's got shallow mushroom caps for collecting water, and then you've got like a naturally forming, well, it's not that naturally forming, but I guess it is naturally forming, but we have a floating cap, red and white mushroom cap that can be removed and installed when necessary, just to, when you want a bit of keep the wind out, that sort of thing. And the caps are heated, that hold the water are heated by spore fires underneath. Next we have 11 is the crow stables, where crows are used basically as mounts, and crow jousting might be a thing, and crow cavalry might be a thing as well. We just haven't gone into a lot of detail about that. Number 12 is the Fungi Flame Bakery, where you can buy your baked goods by a plump pixie called Chubbs. It is on the nose for sure, people. Number 13 is the Capstone Library, which is basically where you find a bunch of documentation in the form of books and scrolls made from fungal parchment about history, lore, magic, and the Mushroom Kingdom, and so forth. We don't have specifically the name of an NPC for this, but that's what we got. Then there's all the extra ideas that I did not get to that are here. And I'll do my best to sort of figure out how to make that all work when it makes sense. And then, of course, the rest of it we don't need to worry about. So, yes, not finished, but certainly the beginning of something, all based off a map provided by a patron and subscriber. Thank you very much, Derp. I do appreciate it. And I'm not going to make the mistake again of saying to my patrons, no, it's all right, I'll make the map for the adventure, because, Fred, you said it to me, you had a map before, and I said no to you, and yet I said yes to Derp. I'll say yes to your map. I will tell you what we're doing next time, okay? We're literally doing a lair. I was going to do a bond lair, but you can do any kind of lair you like. You come up the map, Fred, I will number it, and we'll go from there. How's that sound? All good? All good. All right. And I think that's next week. Otherwise, yeah. So Fred will not say no to your maps anymore. Fred is all good. It's fine. Thumb wrestling competitions. You want to include thumbs. Thumb wrestling competitions. Championship. It's a championship. My gosh. All right. Anyway, let's get out of here. You guys have got stuff to do. I've got stuff to do. And we've had a lot of fun. 2 hours of nutty stuff. Like, if you cannot figure out how to make something interesting happen in a place like that, I don't know what will. It's got a lot going on. And it's not your conventional adventure. It's a village adventure. You're not necessarily going through and just killing things. Although there might be a fight involved if you go to Fight Club. But anyway, yeah, great, awesome, very happy. So thank you for watching and listening. Thank you for taking part in the poll. Thank you to all my patrons who support me on Patreon, because without your support, I can't run this every single week. It would just not be possible. I apologize for the the live stream, it's OBS not feeding the information through fast enough, and I don't know why, and I'll have to figure out what's going on, but I'll do my best to sort that out next time, hopefully tomorrow. So yeah, sorry about that. The other thing I would like to say too is that like everybody in the chat, like all of you who've been taking part in the chat and providing your ideas, and there's a lot of you. I don't know that I'm going to be able to call out everybody, but I will try. So Rex Young, Fred Huber, of course, Overboard or Joe, Derp for the map. Thank you very much for the map, Derp. Negative Space, thank you for your ideas. Noroak and all his contributions. I want to thank, I'm going to lose my voice, I can see it now. Wizards and Warp Drives, thank you for being here. Like there's been probably, there's 3 or 4 people who've provided the vast majority of the ideas for this. These aren't necessarily my ideas. I've obviously filled in some of the descriptions and so forth. But yeah, a combination of a community, and you wind up with the rough skeleton of an adventure. Pale Rider, thank you to Pale Rider. And did I miss anybody? God, I hope not. I think that's everybody. So thank you to everybody who was involved. You did a great job. And Fred Huber has already said, next week, we're doing an Astral Dragon lair, and he will be providing the map. Okay? Just don't make it 20 or 30 or 40 locations. Just don't make it too big. Okay? Next week. Anyway, so wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.